Hey, hey, hey. Nice background.
Thank you. I was having coffee with a guy that I've been discipling up until about 20 minutes before the Christmas call, and I was like, "Oh crap! I'm supposed to have some kind of thing." So I ran upstairs, and when I got home, and I found these little things that we had bought
Oh,
for
look at that.
kids that I
Nice.
had on, and then I quickly Googled. I went to Gemini and I said, "Create a Zoom background of Christmas images," and it created this, and I was like, "That's good enough," and I'm going to go with it.
Fantastic. I love it.
So.
Nice.
It was it was so funny because I remembered last year the competition on that Mad Lib thing, right? Because I have high competition, so does
Me
Gina.
too.
And I remember Gina made some comment last year about she wished she had gone last. And so I'm sitting there chatting with my group on a private, the three I put the other two on a chat and I said, don't, since we didn't go first, wait and go last. And it
There you
was
go.
right. And it was what's her face? She was holding out until the end. The new coach. Okay, I can't remember her name now. Anyway, she gave in, and I was talking to Deb later, and she's like, "Oh no, I was." She's like, "Gina was never going to give in on that point. She was going to hold her ground." So
Fact.
I thought that was so funny.
That is
And
really
so there's
funny.
three people with competition: me and Sarah, or
Me
me and
too.
Gina. Hey, Sarah.
Everything's a competition. I just choose not to let it be. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you weren't on the call, were you?
You're blank. No, I couldn't. My
Oh,
wife and I had to do something today. So
oh okay.
my work partner and I had to go do
Yeah,
something.
I was
So
on the Mad Lib portion
nice.
of the day, so it was fun. So.
Nice. Hey, it was good to see you this morning too. Dude, I woke up at 6 o'clock and at 6:02 I was on the call. I'm like,
I was
oh,
about to text you because Adam was texting.
yes.
I was on the call. He was on the call, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on with Bill. I'm at Disney World. Can you lead it?" And I was like, "Sure, I can lead it. Like, I
Oh,
don't have the ability to do breakout rooms." And he's like, "I got that." And then you came on, right as
yeah.
we were trying to
Well, and then I
sort
was
that out.
trying to figure out was anybody saying anything and nobody saying nothing. I'm like, oh, I guess I got this. Okay, let's go. So I was first 10 minutes was it just a cloud, a fog. Anyway, cool. Hey, Sarah and Bryce, how are y'all?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Nice sweater. I like that. We can't wear sweaters.
Yeah,
It's just too hot.
not in
You better
Florida.
wear a sweater or you will freeze.
Yeah, up there, up there for sure. Yeah, I don't even buy sweaters because I like 3 days out of the year I can even wear it without roasting. So kind of crazy. Nice. Hey, it's good to see everybody. Um, how's life going for y'all? Any big wins or losses or things you're excited about?
Well, I just had my first networking thing last night, so
How'd
it
that
went pretty
go?
well. So my goal was to get 10 business cards. I got nine. But
Sweet.
the 10th one, the guy said he didn't have a business card, but I knew I actually kind of knew who he was. So like we'll link up on LinkedIn. So and
Awesome.
I'm since it's the Army Navy weekend and I think most people are in for the game, I'm waiting until Monday to try to follow up with some of them. But
Yeah,
I will say that when I talked to people after the presentation, several of them actually remembered the presentation. So I was like, oh, that's good.
that's
So
good.
but
Did
we'll
the
see.
format of the presentation and then also the before and after work out well?
The only thing I probably, I had some lessons learned. So like I had done like you did, I kind of wrote out the script and I was going to read it. And then I was told there would be a podium. There wasn't. It was just kind of
Um,
freestanding with the mic. So it was a little awkward, but I kind of made a joke and I said, listen, I'm a new entrepreneur. And I said, I was told by the director that he would tackle me if I went over 3 minutes. So I wrote this out to make sure I don't go over. And I was like three minutes and like 1 second or something like that. So
well done.
so I went
Well
ahead
done.
and read most of it, though I rehearsed it enough that I probably could have winged it. But I was very concerned about the 3 minute time limit. So
Nice. Love it.
Cool. Awesome.
Any others?
Let's see, my week. I told you guys I was gonna reach out to that animal health company and I did. I'm waiting to get to talk to the right person, but I'm on the track.
Good.
Um, and then some old clients, they have a lot more availability in the winter because they're construction companies. So we had a meeting this week and they were all signing up for all sorts of stuff. So,
Nice.
Cool.
right,
Love
January,
it.
February will be um, nice and full, but won't take the gas off some of the other Tatankas we want to get either. So,
That's
yeah.
really good. How about you, Bryce?
Um, it's been a full week. Sorry, I missed last week. I had
It's okay.
a funeral I had to attend. Um, so it sounds like you guys had some good action steps out of last week that I didn't have. Um, good wins, losses. Um, I don't have anything specific. I mean, I just had a lunch meeting a little bit ago with one of my clients, and um, he was asking me some questions about EOS specifically. I'm like, yeah, I've got the book, been through it. Really, I think there's another system I have that, I've talked about a little bit, better framework for strategy execution. I think would be a lot better than EOS. And so we're going to circle back on that. Talked about, this is a newer client that I've picked up, and I'm doing some kind of accountability coaching with him, really is what
Hmm.
he hired me for, as he's starting a new business. And but reiterated again with him today, hey, there's essentially, it gets confusing, but there's him and he's got another partner company, and then both of them are working with an Alaskan tribe separately but together as well. So there's kind of some different dynamics here, but I'm like, hey, really, I want to, circle back again on you taking the strengths assessment. I want to go through it. Let's talk about it. I want you to go through the SAP. That'll help me coach you better. And so he's supposed to be setting up a meeting with the three of us. But I'm going to shoot him an email with the link to take the assessment, and hopefully that'll get a couple of SAPs and then kind of really solidify. I've got a values exercise I'm going to take them through, and kind of get to know them, and hopefully lay some groundwork for some more coaching.
That's awesome. Good
Cool.
deal.
Very cool.
I'm excited too. I have one client that became two, and now is going to be the third partner in this company. And it's helpful because they were brothers. Two of them are brothers, and they've been like fighting like cats and dogs because one is really red and the other one is really green, and they just keep missing each other. And I'm talking it was kind of cool. I was talking in order to land his brother, Charlie. Um, I just, I could tell he did not want to get on that. He got on a call and he's like, I don't know. You could tell he didn't want to be there. By the end of the call, he's like, I think I should do this thing. It's like, okay, sounds good. And now they're growing. I mean, because the one brother's ready to leave. He's like, you know what, January, I think I'm out. Now I think he's like, no, I could probably make it another year if we see things change, I might even stay. So I'm really excited about the possibilities for them. And so I just I just set a call for Tuesday for the third partner. So I'm hoping that that'll happen, and we'll probably do a workshop out there, a weekend workshop or something once we get going, but pretty exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. Let me share our screens. Um, Always good to see you guys and gals. Um, 7 minutes. Yeah, why don't we go around and practice? Because we said we would. Jeff, I'm going to call on you first. Can you tell me hey Jeff, how you doing? What's your job again? What's your work business again?
Hey, Bill. I'm Jeff Coleman with Wheel Line Coaching. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and I help CEOs and C-suite leaders who feel ineffective and lost to lead authentically in a way that provides them with more joy, increased team performance, and avoids burnout.
Awesome. That sounds pretty interesting. Burnout?
I'm sure you have
And away we
I'm
would
sure
go.
you've never experienced that before, right?
I have not. No, never.
Today,
Ever.
yesterday. I'm just kidding.
Bryce, tell me, hey, we met at that work networking meeting. What is it that you do again? Because I don't remember. I know you do something about coach or something.
Yeah, I help. I work with owners and executives and help them cut through the noise and get everyone on the teams aligned together, and help them lead with clarity and confidence.
Awesome. That sounds pretty cool. How about you, Sarah? What do you do?
I'm Sarah Barber with Foundation Coaching and Executive Leadership Coach, and I help passionate leaders move from frustrated and stuck with team communication to moving forward with collaboration toward their clear and compelling purpose.
Nice. I like that. I like that. And if I didn't tell you, I'm Bill Mason, Rocket Fuel Coach. I'm an executive leadership coach, and I help courageous leaders transform chaos, conflict, and confusion into clarity, unity, and action. Awesome.
Hey, John, we're doing our elevator speeches if you have one and want to share it.
Yeah,
If
John,
you
what do you do for work?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm a surgeon that loves to rehumanize traumatized people one part at a time. How about that?
I love it.
Mm,
I love it.
I love it. I just hope all my parts are attached. That's good.
If they don't fit, we just remove them. It's no problem.
Just put a new one in. Just put a new one in.
Don, this is a completely different setting. You look like you've been out at the ranch.
Oh yeah, it's a nice rainy day here. This is believe it or not, this is my attire for most of the time when it's in this kind of weather.
Nice. I love
The
it.
yak will keep me busy. I'm glad I could join you all. Quite frankly, I'm curious. I'm going to be a little fly on the wall here for a minute, but I've
Great.
missed these meetings for a long time, so I had some time this afternoon, so jumped
Great.
on.
Great to have you.
Perfect.
Great to have you. How about awareness from the last time we met? It's been a couple weeks. So what did you guys figure out, or how was it helpful?
Right. Last time we talked about getting the appointment script. So
Sorry, should have said that.
that's okay. Anybody try anything or script anything out?
Jeff did.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I kind of two things. One, I did a follow up with someone. It was a little different than this because I'd already contacted them. So I kind of followed up with someone who said, I'd like to move forward with your coaching. And so, and it was kind of more of a, hey, what do you think the next steps are? And I kind of got the explanation as to why they hadn't moved forward yet. And so just to be clear, like what kind of cleared up the timeline, et cetera. And so I like, one of the things that I kind of tried to implement last night when I was doing this networking was this idea of I was just trying to like set up a follow-up, not trying to make an actual sale or whatever. And so that's where I think I'm really going to use that script that we talked about last time, probably like Monday and Tuesday of next week. I've got some blocks of time already set aside to follow up with these to try to follow up with them and get the appointment. Either call their office or send them an email to get the appointment and, not to try to make a sale. So
Nice. Any others?
Well, I used it Monday when I called the animal health company. Just stopped. Okay, how do I want the order to flow? Just was very intentional with that. And then I also used it in an email format on yesterday with someone Scott Frickenstein wants me to meet. So kind of same principles, but just put it in email format. And so no matter how many times you do it, even for me, it's like, okay, stop. What do you want to say? How do you want this to roll before I just get on the phone and start yapping? So
I
that
like
was
it.
good.
I have to convince myself to shut up. Just ask questions. Just ask questions. Because I'll talk too much otherwise. So kind of funny. Cool. So today we're going to talk about the sales call agenda, and Sarah is going to lead us as she's been doing a fantastic job doing. So
Here we go again. So this is 5 of 5 of our quick start. So we'll talk in the end about what's next. But I'm excited, as always, to talk about this with you guys today. So now you have the appointment and you have your call set, whether it's in person, Zoom, or on the phone. So we're going to go through what do we do here. So first of all, like everything, we want to be prepared. We want to think ahead of time. We want an agenda. Like you, just like a coaching call, you're going to hold the process of this call. And you hold it lightly like a coaching call does, but there is a process we need to get through so we just don't end up circling around and not getting anything done. So be very intentional. I like to ask questions ahead of time, like what do I want to learn about this person in the call? So what kind of questions do I maybe want to ask them? And what do I want them to learn about me and my business? Next slide, please.
Yep.
So a sample agenda, introductions, we'll talk about each of these steps, but introductions, asking some questions to learn about the person you're meeting with, sharing your services, asking more questions, and then next steps.
Okay.
Okay, so before anything, when you call, Bill said last time, just double checking, is this still a good time? And how much time do you have? And then stick to it. Maybe you initially blocked it for an hour, but they say only got 30 minutes. So you're the timekeeper. You need to make sure you get through everything you want to do in the amount of time that they have and be respectful of that, especially if you're high communication. uh, that's a problem. So, can you go back a
Sorry.
slide?
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
Oh,
other way,
I went
please.
twice. Sorry. There we go. My bad. It's bumped it.
Okay. No, you're good. So in the introduction section, give some thought to what do you want to share about yourself. Tips, like we all know how to do, be relational, share pertinent items, but not your life story. So give some thought to that. That's actually been really helpful for me. Depending on who I'm talking to, because sometimes I'm wearing a vet hat, sometimes I'm wearing a dairy manager hat, sometimes I'm wearing a coaching hat. So what parts of my story will relate to the people I'm talking to? And sometimes I've shared way too much of my life story and they don't really care. So
Yep.
give some thought to that. When you ask who you're talking to introduce themselves, I usually go super open, like tell me about yourself, your company, just let them kind of blab. And then with our good coaching hats on, we can listen and ask follow-up questions. I also like to give them a couple questions to answer in their introduction. One kind of engaging that positive part of their brain, and then one challenging question. So we will talk about those on the next slide.
I also, because you do meet people that talk way too much. So I usually give them a window. Hey, in 2 to 3 minutes, could you tell me your story, how you got here and what it is you are running? And they'll usually tell you the pertinent data.
Mm-hmm.
They still might go to 10 minutes, but it helps them not do that too much.
Right. So those questions I have them ask in their intro, I think about this beforehand and try to tailor them toward the service. Whether, if it's team coaching, I might ask about things about their team, right? If it's individual leadership coaching, I might ask them things about that. So cater the questions so that you can pick up on what they like, what they don't like, even before you start talking about your service. So examples for that positive question. What do you like best about your team? If I'm going to talk about team coaching, I like to, like all of us, we want to get the right side of their brain on. So talk about something positive, or, what's been a highlight of your month, or, just think of a very positive question. And then a challenging question. What challenges are you experiencing with your team, or what's frustrating for you in this season? Again, we're trying to learn about this person, what's going well, what's not going well, so we can even see, one, is our service a fit, and two, if it is, we're going to build a bridge so they can see how we can help them with the challenges that they're having. Any thoughts so far, you guys, on
I really
the
like your
intro,
questions.
questions?
I read them when I was doing them, but I didn't really read them. It's like, I really like these. These are great.
I like the
want-
positive emphasis. I do like
Yeah.
the way to lead into that.
Like it a
I
lot.
was just going to say one question that I got picked up from Bill was, what's your vision for success for the next year? Probably 4 or 5 people said, that's a great question. And actually, they paused and they had to stop and kind of think about it a little bit. So it's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good follow on. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say it's good. A lot of people don't have aren't given the space to think about their future. And I think just like a good coaching call, this good inquiry call or sales call can give them a chance to stop and think about those things.
It gives me a chance to tell them about this. In January, I usually do a goal planning workshop too, because most people don't set goals. So it's another good reason to ask.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, once they've shared, answered some of those questions and introductions, they're anticipating you're going to be talking about the services that you offer. So be listening when they answer those questions to connect their goals and pain points with the services that you offer. For example, a call Jeff and I did with a bank, right? They have an emerging leader, or they have leaders they see as emerging, but they don't really have an emerging leader program. So, when we were talking about the strength coaching and the team transformations and stuff, you can easily tie that back into how it can help an emerging leader, become more self-aware of their needs and their strengths and their blind spots. So you can just tie all that language together. And what's so cool is, guys, we're coaches and we're really good at listening. So that's awesome.
One additional thing I do is if I'm in person, I have a worksheet. And I just write the big things that they're working with. I write it down because I forget, but also I've had multiple people like, you're writing this down? Like, yeah, it's important. So why would we not write it down so that we don't forget?
Yeah, that's really good, Bill. Take notes, like keyword notes, so you can.
Keyword notes, any way you can do it.
Yep.
So, and multiple CEOs were very impressed. Like, I've never seen somebody do that on a sales call. Well, I'm going to forget this if I don't write it down. Of course, it's important to you. It's important to me now. So.
Yeah. Yep. Go back, Bill, please.
Sorry.
Bill's got happy fingers today. We're not going to dive deep into the, how to set up your service offerings and stuff today. We've talked about that before, and we can do that in another call, but keep it simple. Have your 3 choices. We've talked about that. Again, not super detailed, but enough information that they know, what you're talking about and what their choices are. I like to, after I've given them the choices, stop and ask what questions they have before I share the pricing, because sometimes they see the price and their brain turns off and they can't think anymore. I don't know what your experience is with that, Bill.
Same. I try not to share prices until the last moment. Well, actually, I don't even share until I'll share about stuff we're going to do. And I usually ask them, hey, let's assume you're going to do a year of coaching with me. Not that you're not going to, but let's say you did, what outcomes would you want? So it helps me to figure out, do you need teaming, or do you want one-on-one? Do you want to help your whole team? What's that even look like? And then I usually ask, well, how would you like to move forward? And until they say how they're going to move forward, I don't share prices, because often, even without the price, they'll probably usually go, oh, well, how much is it? Well, exactly what you were wanting was this, this, and this. That would be about this, or that. Thoughts? And almost like the one call last week, the guy did not even want to be on the call. By the end of it, it's like, well, it's usually $2,400 for the call. I mean, for the deep dive. I usually do it for $19.99. And he goes, I was like, well, I did it for your brother for 15. Would you like to do that? Yeah, that'd be great. When would you like to start? And then we just walk through all the details that you need to talk to finalize this. So I would do like you do, Sarah. I ask a lot of questions before I give any prices.
Yep.
And did they have questions about what we've talked about so far?
Yes. Yep. Oh, one more thing on the last slide.
Sorry.
Always be when you're far enough into the call to know if they're not a good fit, you don't have to finish the whole call, right? You're not going to be rude, but if you already know this is not going to work, it's okay to stop the process in a very relational way. Wish them their best, and even just say, this isn't going to be a good fit, or I think something else would benefit you more. Always serving them, but knowing it doesn't have to be you. I know when in my every business I've been in, the veterinary side, the consulting side, the coaching side, I have taken clients at the beginning that I should not have taken.
Of course.
And so that was very painful.
You can renew for 3 times the price. I don't want to do that. Me neither.
Yeah. So anyway, just keep that in mind. It's good to be hungry, but not taking the wrong client is painful. So
both, if you start earlier at the end, I usually ask them, hey, so I know you told me a little bit about your business, but if I love, and I have Woo, so this is important for me. How could I refer, if I were to refer somebody to you, do you want me to refer people to you? 1, because I want them to say, yes, I do. And 2, what's the best way to do that? And how would you like me to do that? Because I want them to feel, even if they're not my client, I'm still going to send you business because I don't care.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So it's a good ending.
Yeah. Okay, now we're ready, Bill. Okay.
Sorry. It's because I keep touching it. I was moving it around.
It's okay. So this is kind of the ready to sign up part. You want to have the process if they're ready to sign that day, right? It's like closing the sale. So, know your prices. How are you going to invoice them? What's the interval? What options do they have? Be ready to set the date for the first appointment. How does the coaching agreement work, the rhythm of appointments? So have this ready because people just want a smooth process. It's not, oh, great, you want to sign up. I'll get back to you next week with the details. Don't do that. Be ready to move forward. If they're not ready, that's fine, but you want to be ready if they're ready to keep going. Okay, next slide. Not everyone's ready to sign up the first time, and that's fine. But always have a next step. If they need time to think or ask someone, ask when you can follow up with them. Get it, firm a week, 2 weeks, and then write it in your planner so you make sure you follow up with them. If they say they'll come back to you, that's great. If I don't hear from you by, January 1st, may I call you back, right? Ask for permission to get back with them if you don't hear from them. But this is important so you know when to contact them without overly bothering them with it.
And people will let you know, even if I've had clients who I'll check back every 2 or 3 weeks, and eventually would it be better if I wait 3 months? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Okay, I'll talk to you in 3 months. I don't care,
Right.
But I always try to hold the ball of who's got the responsibility for the next interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pro tips: practice. We say that every week with every step of this. And you could just do a practice one with another coach, right? It doesn't have to be an hour-long interaction, but practice the different steps, or even a part. I want to practice with someone if they say yes, right? So that the part that comes out of my mouth makes sense about the next steps. Make it your own. You guys, we believe in this stuff, which is amazing because then you can just talk about it, right? And you're always serving, not selling. We've talked about that many times. We're offering something to help. People will say no, and that's okay. People may choose to say no to your services. They're not rejecting you as a person. It's just not a good fit for them. And have simple next steps. Again, like we talked about, make it easy for them to do business with you. Okay, that's kind of the quick start view of the sales call agenda. Questions, thoughts before we go to breakout rooms? Okay, none. Then we'll split in a couple breakout rooms. Kind of the goal, talk through it, maybe lay out what you have for an agenda, what parts you feel are missing. We can kind of just coach each other through that for the next 15 minutes or so.
Yep. Getting ready to go. And well, it doesn't matter. Open rooms. Okay. You guys should have an invite. Hey, guys.
Hey, Bill, Bryce.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well.
How are you guys feeling with your sales process, the actual in-person thing that we're talking about today?
Mine's probably a little different in that I am selling to a university and to a major institution. So I'm dealing with the people running the foundations, the people
Yep.
who are providing the money to these organizations. So my sales is a little bit different. It's not a cold call. These are being people that are referred to me to say, hey, we've heard about this training program that you can help us with. What is it? And what's it going to cost us? And what do we get out of it? So, so so my agenda has been pretty simple. It's kind of like what Sarah had here earlier. Is I'm brief introduction to who I am, and then they want to know what is this, and so I give them the brief introduction of what it is, and then we kind of quickly revolve into and So what are the main issues that you guys are running into? And that remorse back to the, well, that's what we cover. This is what we do, and this is how we do it. And then they go, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. How much money do you need to put into that? So that's the flow I've been using
Okay. And that's been working pretty well.
so far. Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah. Haven't any pushback, and it's been moving forward. So
Any big things you'd suggest to do or not to do working with big companies?
they know what they want typically, so I don't try to tell them what they want.
Good. That's a good observation. I'd like my liver removed because it's cancerous. Okay, I'm not taking your kidney out. Oh, yeah, that's great. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, the foundations, no, they're used to people taking money from them, and so when
Right.
they're trying to fund these things, what they're trying to do is be good stewards, really, for the most part, and so they want to be a good steward. That's what they want. They
Right.
want to know what will make this them giving money to run this program. What will make it a good steward for them? And all I have to do is explain to them why it's such a good reason for them to spend money on.
Yeah, so making sure they know all the outcomes that you're going to help. So, because they're probably going to ask you all the questions that we would normally ask others, they're going to
Right.
volunteer that information up front.
Right.
That's a good
Right.
thought. I don't know if I've
Yeah.
thought that through before, because even with most companies, they still don't know what they want or need. They just know they need something.
Right. Right.
And I know nonprofits are probably more used to leadership development anyway.
hmm hmm
No.
It's in their
Cool.
DNA. It's what they're supposed to do. They just don't know how to do it, but
Yeah,
they know they're supposed to.
but we should make good
Yeah.
leaders. We don't know how,
Right.
but we're going to make some good leaders. We're going
And
to spend a
they're gonna
lot
be
of
really
money to
good.
make good leaders. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. How about you, Bryce? How you feeling?
Yeah, my individualization high causes me trouble.
Oh, how so?
I've had a guy that's really hard, a friend of mine that's really harped on me over the last year or more about this because I haven't done well about structuring packages, like predefined, this is what you're going to get for X, right?
Mhm.
And so because I want to customize everything
Right.
for everybody.
Right.
And so like there's a whole joke between him and I about because he would ask me questions. I'm like, well, it depends. He's like, no, it doesn't. You
does
solve
not.
a problem. What is the problem?
Correct.
I'm like, well, it depends on who I'm working with and what the problem
Correct.
is. And so that's always been a struggle for me, especially on this side of things. It's much easier for me to sell website or application development work or something along those lines than it is
Mhm.
for me to sell my coaching or consulting. And so that's an area where I've struggled. I mean, as far as having an agenda, I don't know that this whole sales process is obviously something I could do better at, need to do better at.
Why have sales packages? Basic menu item of sales packages. Why do that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it gives simple options for the client to understand.
Yep. If you walked into if you like coffee, if you walked in the coffee house and they said coffee, and they said, what would you like? And you're like, I don't know. What do you offer? Oh, we have macchiatos and we have cappuccinos and we have drip coffee and we have pour overs and we have, what would happen to you emotionally?
Yep. Paralyzed.
I'm done. I'm just never mind. I'm going to walk out. Or if you had to tell them how to make each of them, right? So if you think about it, like big picture, you had a perfect client. What was the first thing you'd like him to do? Regardless of where he's at, he doesn't know much about himself. He's just taken the Clifton because you asked him. What's the first thing you would like him to do?
It'd be the SAP.
Do the SAP. So 3-month deep dive. That's what we do. That's what most of my clients do. I highly recommend it. It's super helpful. You'll learn more in 5 hours than you're going to learn in 5 years, blah, 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 blah. So then he does the SAP. Then what should he do?
Ongoing coaching.
Ongoing coaching. For how long?
6 months to a year.
Say 1 year. He
1
can
year.
back out anytime. Do a year. Back
Yeah.
out anytime. I have to because I'm an ICF coach. If you decide we're a bad fit, I have to let you out of your contract. So, and actually, I don't want you to pay up front. Could you pay monthly? Because I like it better. Because what if I die and my wife has to give you money back? I don't want that happening. So why don't we just do monthly? And I do that on purpose, right? I don't give them a discount, much of a discount for long term, because I'd rather them pay monthly. I like it better. And that is flies in the face of every advertising thing I've ever heard. but I'm going to tailor this to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's a CEO and he's got conflict on his teams. And he goes through the SAP. And as he's going through his SAP, he thinks, oh my God, the 5 guys on my team would be really good with this. What should you do?
Offer to take the 5 guys on his team.
Dude, why don't you have him do the SAP with us? Oh, that'd be great. When can we start it? Right? I'll give you the Cliftons for free if you buy the SAPs. No big deal. Right? So then I send them codes. So if they did all of that, then what's the next thing they should do after they get done with their SAPs? If they really want help.
Yeah, be a team transformation.
Okay. And what did he need at the end of the SAP?
Ongoing coaching.
Ongoing coaching. That would be the best thing you could do. Do that with all of them. Well, I don't have the money for that. Okay, I understand. How about you do instead? What did you just say?
The team transformation.
Team transformations, 4 to 8 hours. It'll be phenomenal. It'll be some of the most amazing things you've ever done. So now tell me, what products do you have, generally speaking?
Well, I mean, I have the SAP, the team alignment, team transformation as those core and ongoing coaching.
And that's it. That's your whole menu. And the best solution is SAP.
That's my coaching menu.
Yes.
That's not.
No, that's not only your coaching. No, I just told you, you just told me you have a cappuccino, you have a macchiato, you have drip coffee. Those are the best options. Well, what if I don't want drip coffee? Well, we also have espresso. If you don't like milk, we got espresso. Okay, right. See, so the reason I say that is because you think tailor it to the one guy, because I want to get that CEO to do really well. And if he does well, he's going to share it with his people. This is what I did with the one team I'm working with right now. I got a referral from a guy I know. He gave me one of the owners of the 3 partners, and he asked how do we do this? I said, well, if it's just for us, and if you want to do something for the whole team, we'll figure that out. But for you alone, best thing you could do is Clifton's deep dive, 1 year of coaching, and I'll give you $1,000 off the deep dive when you do that, if you do 2 times a month. And you'll get 12 full months, 3 months in the deep dive, the rest of the 9 months for one-on-one coaching. And you could spread this out any way you want. We can talk about your actual needs right now and spread the Cliftons along as long as it takes. Usually I do it in 3 months, but we don't have to do it that way. We can go back and forth because we're meeting twice. And as we're going, hey, do you think it'd be good for my partners to do this? Of course it would. Why don't you ask them? I don't know if they want to. I understand. You're having fights with them. Why don't you ask them? Hey, my brother said he'd talk to you. And then he got on a call and did not want to talk to me. I could tell. He's like,
Right.
so what is it you're doing again? And why is Magnus wanting me to do this with you? And I'm like, bro, I understand completely. And I am who I am, right? So by the end of the call, I'm like, so what do you want to do? I suppose I should do that deep dive. Okay. Here we go. How much is it again? Ooh, that's a different question, right? So my hope is, and then when I was talking to Charlie, the brother who did not want to do this, I said, just so you're aware, and I do this a lot with my menu, just so you're aware, we also do team coaching. We're going to do workshops. So I could come out there and I said, we do these workshops 4 to 8 hours. Is that on Zoom? It's like, oh God, I hope not. We try not to do those. So you'd come out here? Of course I would come out. You'd have to pay for me to fly out there, of course. Could you come on a weekend and we just stay at a Airbnb or something? I'm like, dude, that would be freaking awesome. I would love to do that. You give me extra time with you, I guarantee we're going to have a good time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So all I have is the basics. And when I offer, I don't even talk about team transformations, team stuff. I'm going to focus on him first, give him 3 options.
Mhm.
One other option would be, if you don't want to do the deep dive, that's okay. Let's do a one-time 90-minute, on our first call, do a 90-minute, I'll overview the Cliftons. I already have yours. And we'll just do monthly coaching once or twice a month, whichever. And those are 2 different prices, once or twice a month. But they're packages.
So on your 3-month deep dive,
Yep.
When you're taking somebody through the SAP,
Yep.
how often are you meeting with them?
Every other week. I think it's the best rhythm. In
'Cause
general.
most of my SAPs, when I'm doing SAPs, I'm typically doing once a week for like 5 weeks.
Yeah, the reason I don't is I found that people cancel a lot on me, or they shift it. So I just tell them it'll take 3 months. And then I tell them, if you want to do this in 6 weeks, we can. Because I add a session because I want one ongoing session as well. So it'll take 6 times. But We can do it in 5 weeks if you want. If you want to do it in 6 weeks, if my schedule holds, I'll do that. But the other reason I do that is I coach for 3 weeks and I take a week down. Coach for 3 weeks, and I'm not going to coach on that week. So I'll just tell them, hey, it'll be like 3 weeks and take a break in 3 weeks if you want to do it that way. I personally think it gives you time to think about it. If you have time in between, better. So most people I'd recommend every other week. I mean, yeah, every other week. Same day, same time, every other week. And I found that works really well for most CEOs because they're freaking busy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's easier to say. 3 months, deep dive, they're just paying some price. And if they get it in 5 weeks, they're like, I paid $1,500 for 5 weeks. No, no, no. You pay $1,500 for it also makes more sense, right? $1,500 for 3 months. That's only 500 a month. That's not so bad. And people do that mental math in their brain all the
No,
time,
yeah, they do.
all the time, trying to figure out
Hmm.
if it's a good deal or not. So
Hmm.
that's why I do it that way. There's nothing right about it. I'm just telling you that I've been able to sell a lot of those that way. I've probably done at full price like that, probably 150 of them, 100, something like that. That's what kept me alive for 2 years. I just did lots of saps. I get so tired of them. Now I try to only do 3 or 4 at a time because they drive me a little crazy. Because I'm just saying the same thing over and over and over and over.
Right.
Right. And I like it because I like to get to know people. But I also have to be careful not to be like, okay, yeah, sure. Right. What else does it say? What else do you see? Does that resonate with you? Is that helpful?
Yeah. Yeah. I think in my head, where when I've talked about doing, even recently doing a 3 month package, it's been, we'll go through the SAP in 5 or 6 weeks, and then you want to do every week, every other week. But
Yep. It also, let me share something real quick. You've probably seen this before. I've probably shared it. But this is my packages so that
Right.
I can put it in front of them so I don't have to explain it so much. And basically it's the Ignite course, which is SAP, um, ongoing coaching, 1 or 2 times a month. Or I also added quarterly. You can do $99 a month and we meet once a quarter because especially for people I've coached and they want less, but they don't want to stop and I want to keep them as a client. That $99 a month is really nice. It's an easy price point they could do. But then I usually give them a percent if they do this with with the Accelerate course. I just add because it's twice if they do twice a month, then I add the first 3 months of the SAP. And the other thing I like about it, I want to set them up so that they'd either coach once a month or twice a month. I'd prefer twice a month. I think they'll do better. And so if the SAP was twice a month, and if you ask them, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue with twice a month? That's worked out pretty well. Why don't we do that? I've set a pattern for them.
yeah,
But if you meet for 5 weeks and then expect them to meet every week for 5 weeks, I'm going to tell you that people are going to you're crush your soul. And they're not going to have anything to talk to you about after about 3 months. So I'm setting this up for long-term coaching if I can, because I want to get the most transformation for them for the cheapest price point I can give it to them that I'm happy to coach at. So I like it like that. And then I have a couple other things like they're like, well, what about if I had a team? Well, typically here's just some examples. Here's the transformation. It's 4, 6, and $8,000. Plus you have to pay for housing and transportation. You could do team of 3, a team of 4, a team of 5 for these kind of rounded numbers. And what's that? Why is that different? This is for something else. 1 year, 10, 12 months. Oh, it adds the transformation into this plus that ends up being that.
so your momentum is what? Just group coaching?
Yeah, I just call my ongoing coaching momentum.
So that's a team of 3 one-on-one individual coaching?
Yep. Yep. So that they can see a little bit better what the team looks like or team pricing looks like. And then I had this other one I did like this. I've got a couple different ways I present it, and I kind of try to figure out from them what's best, and I present what I think is going to serve them best.
Okay, so I just noticed at the bottom of that momentum, you've got workshops, lunch and learns, and basically workshops available per session.
Correct. And then I charge for group coachings. I usually do $499. I know one of the other gals charged $1,000 for an hour of group coaching if it's face to face. So I might be low, but I don't mind doing it for that. I also offer that so that I could say, hey, if you're interested and just want to get a pink spoon, why don't you just pay the $4.99 and I'll come do a group coaching session and see if that resonates with your team. And remember, this is a menu. And then what I do is I say, well, you're thinking about just you or the whole team? Well, the whole team. Any kind of a budget? Yeah, probably 20 grand. Well, let me see what I can work in so that I can figure out what I could do for you. And then I'll go back and crunch numbers and figure out what's the best thing. And then what I'll probably do, like if you saw on the one, it's 25 grand for a team of 5. So I'll probably find a price point that's 20 grand, but I'll tell them, hey, if you did the 25, I know you said you had a budget of 20. This is what I'd recommend. Here's one for 15. If you could go all the way to 25, then we could do the full thing for your team. And that, I'm going to tell you, that's probably like the gold package. The other is the silver, which is fine. But whatever you think, I don't want you to go over your budget. I don't want you to buy things you don't want or need. And
Right.
so I'm going to still give them a higher price point of even higher than what they said their budget was. Because some people will be like, I could do 25. It's only 5 grand.
So if they've got 10 or 15 people, you're doubling that up, basically.
Oh yeah,
Is that what-
you're just gonna multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4. Like if they had 15, I'd times it by the team 5 at 25 grand. If they had 10, I'd tell them it was 50. And then it's high enough that I can quote it and come back and come lower if I want as well. I could give them a discount. Is that helpful? Any thoughts, Bryce?
I wish I could find those clients that would pay that.
You wish what?
I could find those clients that would pay that.
Oh, yes, that's true. Well, I found some. But it is practice and I like I said, I did a lot of SAPs, practicing. So cool. I'm gonna go head back unless you guys have other questions.
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Hey, real quick on that regard. So I'm writing grants, or I'm having grant proposals put forward to universities and schools. Looking at it yearly, not just year, but multiple year deals. I'm not reducing the price for multiple years. Does that sound reasonable?
I wouldn't unless
Okay.
they ask. My biggest
Yeah.
fault in sales is I offer lower prices without them asking sometimes, and it's dumb, but I feel bad, so then I do it.
Right.
Yep. And especially if one of the ways to handle that would be like, hey, it's 10 grand a person for an ongoing. And if you'd like multiple years, then we'll just times it by however many years you want to do that. And if they ask, would you give me a discount if I did 2 years? Yeah, what were you thinking? I don't know, 5%. Sure. How about 10%? Ooh, if you do 3, I'll do 10%. If you do 2 years, I'll do 5%. How about that? Let's just do 3. Okay, let's just do 3. Because I want them to have a bargain if they want it, and I usually only reduce if they ask. I try only to reduce if they ask, or if they hedge and
Gotcha.
go, man, that's too much. It's like, well, what were you thinking? I was thinking 500. Bro, I cannot do it for $500. I got a coach that could. Be glad to hook you up, but I'm not. You're not going to get me. Okay, well, I kind of want you. Well, then it's going to be at least this.
Right.
Does that make sense? Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
Total.
anything bad about that, John.
Okay.
If you do and you find it's not, come back and tell me so I can have better data.
Yeah, no, in fact, for the next grant right now, I'm just looking to get the door and I know what the grant could go up to.
Oh,
And
there you
so
go.
I'm applying for the max grant right now. However, the next time around, I just got to make sure that I have enough money in the grant to cover the coaches that I want to use, because I can't
Right.
do all this.
Right.
And so that's my main concern, is making sure the finances are high enough. And right now I know what the level is, but I got to push it higher for.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good thoughts. Okay. See you guys in a few minutes. In a minute.
Okay.
Or a team refresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm doing a couple more of those after the first year too. So how was that, everybody? Thumbs up.
Good.
Great. One thing I want to just reiterate that Jeff and I were talking about is always be learning. So after you do that sales call, after you've tried to, make the call to get the appointment, what went well, what didn't go well, right? Continue to adjust and adapt as you go along. Because that's how we get better. And when you got the Holy Spirit, he'll give you insight too of how things go. So we have done our 5 quick start sessions, and that's you have all the pieces that you need to get started. And so that was kind of our goal when we came out of the gathering, was to, okay, it might not be perfect, but let's give everyone the pieces they need to go. And you really have them all at this point. And so I'm curious a couple things. I'm curious your thoughts on how this quick start program went. I'm also curious where you're headed.
I mean, I would say for me personally, like, I don't think it could have happened at a better time because I kind of needed a sales 101 class. And I kind of feel like that's what this has been, really stepping us through each step of the process. And to some degree, I think it's now you have to go out and try it and do it. I learned a lot like from that networking event last night, because I have been to networking events before, never looking for a job or for clients or anything else. It was a very different environment, or just felt very different. And after a while, I was like, I actually kind of like this. This is kind of fun. So I mean, I'm like I said, I mean, I've been implementing these things as we go. So I think honestly, this is something probably the whole tribe needs, more so than just because I suspect that I'm sure the folks in the nonprofit would be very, or I don't know if that's what they're calling themselves these days, but they would be this would be very useful for them as well. And so maybe even like every new coach, I know that Scott kind of has a coaching intro thing that he does. I'm not sure what that is, but this to me seems like something every new coach should probably go through. It's almost like demystifying the process. But those are just my thoughts. So, and I just did want to say, Sarah, thank you so much for putting all the effort and to put these classes together to teach them, and Bill for setting up the school platform. I mean, you guys really took it from an idea to, implementation in about 2 months. So thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
You're muted, Bill.
You throw a
I
couple
saw
of
your mouth
fingers
move, but I
together,
can't
we'll be
hear
good.
I just said you're welcome. I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of echo that. I need to go back through this process again. So I love the fact, Bill, that you've set up the school platform and have that available for us. And I was going back through some of it last week. I'm like, I've been through some of this, but none of it's marked off. So let me actually be intentional.
Yeah, I need to check that little box at the top that it does not tell you to check.
Right.
I completed this. I watched the video when I first started at school. I watched this one video like 5 times trying to get it to turn the thing off. That you just got to click it.
But yeah, so I like this a lot, and it's been, Sarah, you're amazing. You've always been amazing. So, but Siri thought I was talking to her. She's like, "Why, thanks."
Thank you.
Not you, Siri.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, I mean, thank you, and I think even talking through some stuff today. I know I missed last week on the sales process, but even talking through today about being more intentional about creating some defined packages, really with all of my different services that I do, or at least some of it. The website, I have no desire to create packages for that because I built my business on custom design and custom development. But I'd like to do a lot less of that anyway, and a lot more coaching and consulting. So I think even on those, creating some defined packages on that, and I'm starting to, in a couple of different things, get some of those structures in place, but I need to be much more intentional about it and creating some menu sheets and actually putting and publishing those out there. Hey, this is what this looks like. So
I love that. Clarity is kind, Bryce. Making it clear for people and easy to sign up and how you
well,
can
that's what I
help
was
them.
talking about. Like I've got a friend here that I've done that's helped me over the past year or so. But with my individualization at number 5, it's my heart and desire is to customize each engagement for whatever the client needs. And so he would always ask me these questions, and I'm like, well, it depends. He's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, yes, it does. He's like, so I mean, we have this running joke about, he'll ask me something and it's all I can do not to say it depends sometimes, or sometimes I'll throw it out there just for spite. But trying to get over that hump of, it's okay to have some predefined things and not worrying about trying to customize it to make sure I'm fitting exactly what they need every time.
When, Bryce, for you, I have individualization really high. It's one of the only relational themes I have. So what I've learned from long years of ministry is I used to kind of want to have a bunch of plans, right? I don't have that. I have a bunch of tools that I can pull off because if I try to like train a guy by, well, you need to do these 72 things in this order, it doesn't work very well. But like you, I like to individualize, so I would long to do that. And what the packages have done is allowed me to individualize even more easily because I have some ready-made things and say, is this any of this work for you? Well, it does, but I'd like to do this. Oh, let's change that slightly to what fits your need. So it actually frees me up. The clarity of having packages frees me up to individualize even better.
I like
Mm.
that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I
Other
like that challenge of individualization because it's in my wheelhouse and it's also context. And so put those two together, and I want to give the whole package and get everybody should understand what's going on here. And I want to create the whole thing just for you.
Correct.
So I really appreciate today just that, just keep it simple.
And I need you
Serve,
to pay
not sell, but
$100,000 today.
yeah. Simple next step, simple, because
Simple.
I think that's I have to remember for my patients, I didn't say dumb, I don't dumb it down. I simplify and organize in such a way that to them it's like they get it,
Correct.
but I don't do that when I talk about coaching.
Correct.
And I've just
And
I've learned from experience that I just have to bring it into a very understandable and simple package. So hearing it today is like, oh, just do what I do normally. Oh, yeah, thank you. I should go buy.
correct.
So I know it sounds simple, but no, that's a great reminder today. So appreciate that.
When, like a restaurant, if you walked in and you didn't have a menu, it's already overwhelming looking at a menu for me, right? Because it's a lot of data. Um, but it does simplify it so I can actually make a choice. Because what I'm trying to do is reduce your workload so it doesn't seem so much of a big deal for you to figure out. Here's a simple thing. And if I, like every client, I kind of want them to do this app. So I just offer that right up front. It's one of the biggest things I tell people all the time. Because if I can get you for a SAP, there's a really huge probability I'm going to have you for ongoing coaching. There's probably at least a 70% chance you'll do ongoing coaching with me. So I don't have to sell them everything. Just next step would be this is the easiest, simple step. Won't we do that and see how it goes?
Mhm.
So it's good. Um,
So I had one
go
other
ahead,
question, if
please.
it's okay. That was just on the battle buddy concept. That was kind of one thing. I don't think we've really talked about it here. I know we talked about it back at the gathering. I know Bill's been my battle buddy and has been doing a great job keeping me accountable. Has anyone else been doing that? Just curious.
Just the stuff that you and I did together, Jeff, the couple things. And then Stacy and I we've been coaching all year actually. We coach each other once a month on so
Okay.
not really battle buddies, but a little bit. So but yeah, I don't know if anyone else reached out or have you heard anything, Bill?
I haven't. No.
I think it would be good to next week. I think that'd be good to bring up, Jeff, because next week our plan is where do we go from here, right?
Yep.
And if we can, I'm always whoever can come is great, but I've noticed we've had a few less people as we've gone through this. And so whether, it's busy, that's fine. Like it's certainly not required, but how can we serve the fire pit too? Like what do people need? So if we can Bill, because I feel like next week that's where are we going to go from here, guys,
Yep.
right? Like what do we want to do?
Exactly. Rhythm. What do we want? What do you
Yes.
guys need? And from my perspective, as always, whoever shows up the most is the ones I want to tailor everything to because we want to help people move forward. So if you guys are all, or if you're available for next week, that's one of the things I was hoping to do is set rhythm for next year and what are the kind of what are the next steps from the next steps that we want to do.
Hmm. Yeah, and our intent is, we made this quick start thing so that now we can, share it with the tribe too. And I like what you said, Jeff. Maybe there's for new coaches once a year, right? There's a short class like Scott does this how to be a coach class. It's like, how to sell class.
Yep.
Type of.
Well, and we could, one easy thing would be to have people, like at the beginning of each year say, hey, you guys, there's this course, do it this week on Friday. Sarah and I are gonna lead this thing or whoever, and we'll help you figure out how to get started if you're not. Just do the work before you come.
Right. Yeah.
Would be an easy way. Do you guys have any thought or gals have any thoughts on how to get it to the tribe after we get it finished?
The school classes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Could just invite them to the course. I mean, that's an easy way.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, ultimately, this is really should probably be part of foundation.
It's too
Well-
much. They can't add more in. It would be a good follow-up to foundations. Here to
Yeah.
get started, do this.
I think that'd be excellent. I think the very next step after foundation for me was trying to find the SATs and work on those more. But I was on my own.
Right.
And so this would be a great course to come out of foundation, say, hey, the next step is do this. And by the way, you're not going to sell. What you're going to do is you're going to know how to present what you do.
Yeah, and
If
that
you
may
take the
even
word
be,
sale out, you'll be fine.
this could run independent of foundations too, because I mean, I was coaching for several months just because of the foundation slipping.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Bill and I have talked to there's if you want to just do self-paced, just watch the videos, right? Click through the school stuff and do it your way. But, we could occasionally offer a 1-day workshop, right? Like,
Mhm.
here's the intensive, right? That
That's
we're
a
going to
good
do
idea.
this 1-day intensive workshop to
I like
how to
that.
present, like John said, how to present what you have to offer.
And do the work, do the course before you come. That way it'll be repetitive, but you'll get more out of it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thought, Sarah.
One thing just for follow up for those who've gone through this would be kind of a hey, we've done 5 sessions. You're supposed to do a bunch of stuff. Come up with a script. Like today, we talked about having a script. Like actually, offering up a time. Maybe we're like, bring your script. We'll let you read it, or we'll role play a call or something like that, and critique it. So obviously, we need a couple of people that are experienced with this. So. John, to kind of talk to your point, one of the things I've actually talked to Dave a little bit about is, after foundations, I'm wondering if we don't lose people a little bit there. Like, that's the time, personally, in my mind, that's the time we need to link you up with somebody on the tribe who can walk with you and go, hey, John, I know that you're trying to get 10 steps in. How are you doing? What are your questions? Oh, I have no idea how to find people. That, like, I think that's that's something I've already talked to kind of Dave about with new coaches. That may be something to do, to try to help people with. Just kind of know where everyone's at, because I think that we kind of lose track of where everyone is at once they have signed up, gone through foundations, and then it's a little bit like a black hole. Like, I'm not sure where you're at. Oh, you got your 10 steps. Okay, now you're this level coach, et cetera. Right. And so to some degree, it's like, I don't know what people are struggling with once they leave foundations. I mean, for me, it was very different. So anyway, hopefully we could address that. But if you have thoughts, as the incoming CEO, I'd love to hear feedback like you just had. Hey, I was stuck trying to do 10 steps. I wasn't trying to sell anything, right? I was ready to give it away just so I could get my 10 steps, so I could get people to refer or whatever, right? I mean, And maybe that's where most people are at when they go through foundations. But yeah, any thoughts like that, I'd love to hear them. Anyone's thoughts, and I can't promise implementation, but thoughts on how to make the whole Wheeline process better is something that I'm kind of looking into, because we got some great coaches, we got great products, and I kind of feel like we're still kind of the best kept secret, and I'm not quite sure why that is. But I'm very interested in finding out why. I have a lot of high influencing themes. So significance is in my top 5. So it is not okay personally for me to be the best kept secret. I don't like that.
Right.
I don't
want to be the
I don't wanna be
best
secret.
kept
I want to be
announced
known.
on the world.
Exactly. Everyone should know who we are. 'Cause
That's
we got the
right.
best stuff. So
I like your thought, and I would affirm what you're thinking. I thought if when they left Foundations, if they had a battle buddy with an older coach that's been doing this a while, it would be super helpful for them. And then maybe even a battle buddy that's at the same place, so that they have a running mate and they have a mentor.
Mhm.
Dave, I would talk to Dave every 2 weeks, sometimes every week, because I'm like, Dave, this doesn't work. He's like, well, what's working? What's not working? Like, okay, you're good. Keep going. You don't need. So I would affirm that a lot. And when we meet next week, I think we ought to talk about like battle buddies, what that might look like, just so that we can use that as a capstone to this process. Maybe battle buddies, what do you need to do next going forward to find clients, and where might you find them? Just as a recap of where have we found clients, and where might you also go to find clients? And then we use that as a capstone to finish the course,
Mm-hmm.
and then set rhythms and whatever we're going to do next in 2026.
I did, just FYI, I checked my calendar. I'm like 90% sure I won't be here next week. So we're supposed to leave for vacation on Friday. I assume it's before 3 o'clock. So I'm
2
not
o'clock.
100% sure.
No
So-
problems.
Very good.
Are you okay to meet next week, Sarah?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have the day off too, but I told my husband I have a Zoom call at 2 o'clock. So we
Okay.
have to slap for the Zoom call.
Me too. I'm off. But
We're
I
going
mean,
Christmas shopping, and if I'm shopping more than 4 hours, we're not in a good place anyway. It's
Right.
time to have a Zoom meeting.
That's awesome.
No, awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks.
See you guys. And this will be
Good
up
to see you.
by tomorrow, probably.
All right, bye.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.